This
process.
conference will now be recorded.
How we are implementing a sequence process in the Salesforce is, okay, in the Salesforce is by using batchable interface, and the second one is future method, and the third one is Queuable interface. Okay, Queuable interface. Okay, Queuable interface. Okay, and the next one is why we have to go with the batchable interface. In the sense means in the previous session we discussed about the batchable interface for large number of data, and we want to run the data by using batches. Okay, we have to say like for large number of data. Okay, for large number of data, then we will go with the batchable interface. Then what about the future method? Future method is nothing but, suppose anyone will ask why you have to go with the future method, already batch is there. In the sense means it's not like a more large number of records, it's for long running transactions. Okay, long running transactions, first word we have to give for long running transactions. What do you mean by long running transaction? Okay, how we are going to implement is nothing but, future is nothing but it is one method. See, public static void any name. Okay, any name here, update contacts. This is my method name. Sorry, this is my method name, and this method should be a static method. The return type should be a void, and at the top of the method we have to use future annotation. This whatever the code inside this method, this code it will run into the asynchronous mode. And here only one thing is, whenever we are using the future method, here we have to pass only IDs, either list of ID or set of IDs, either list of ID or set of IDs, list of IDs or set of ID, not like list of account or primitive data types are there, right? Not like integer, we can't pass primitive data types are a subject, we can't pass to the future method, we can't pass. Only we have to pass IDs. In interview also they will ask, is it possible to pass primitive data types? Primitive data types are a subject to the future method. No, it is not possible. It is not possible. Why it is not possible? In the sense means I will explain. So only IDs we can pass. Okay, only IDs we can pass. Only IDs we can pass. We have to pass. Only IDs we have to pass. Then the rest, whatever the code we executed in the previous session, right? In the previous session we executed a batch, right? The same code we can move into the future method. The same code we can move into the future method. The first one is why we are going into the future method is nothing but for long running transaction. The second one is not to use data. Suppose 10,000 records are there, 10,000 records we have to update, then future method we will not prefer. Suppose 100 records or 50 records, not 100 records, only 50 records are there, 50 records are there, then we will just go and execute the future method, then we will move our code into the future method. Okay, not more records, but transaction it is taking more time to complete, transaction it is taking more time to complete. Okay, go to here 1 second. In the yesterday we wrote a trigger, right? Go to this trigger. My trigger is still, it is loading. Go to trigger. In the previous session we wrote this one, right? Where is that trigger? um, Update contact base, right? This is our trigger, right? See, this is our trigger. Whenever we are trying to updating a phone number, then we are moving our code into asynchronous process, right? Here also the same thing. I will just go and write a trigger, the same trigger. See here, the same code I will move into the asynchronous process, but here asynchronous process means I'm moving into the future method. Why future method in the sense means for long running transactions. Here this is my trigger, right? This is my trigger. What I will do is, whatever the code here is there, right? Whatever the code here, this code I will put into my asynchronous mode into this particular method. Here what we will do, this is one class, right? Public class, okay, update contacts info. This is my class. In this class we have this feature method, right? In this class we have this feature method, right? See, go to here, this is a feature method. So now we have to call this one, update contact info dot update contacts. The same logic, see here, set up account id. In the previous session, we moved the same code into a sequence process, that is nothing but batchable interface. Why we moved into the batchable interface? So we thought record count is more. Suppose 2000 contact records are there, 5000 contact records are there. Then the best solution and the only solution is batchable interface. Now coming into future method for long running transaction. What do you mean by long running transaction? Is nothing but coming into here, I am trying to creating one account record. See here, I am trying to creating one account record. This is my account record. So or updating, assume that anything. Suppose I am trying to updating phone number. We are trying to updating phone number. Whenever we will update a phone number, my requirement is update the corresponding contacts phone numbers and corresponding opportunities phone numbers. Okay, corresponding opportunities phone numbers. Okay, but here we are guarantee, here contact records are very less. For example, 10 contact records are there. For a maximum 10 opportunity records are there. We are guarantee. My requirement is we are trying to updating an account record. We are trying to updating an account record. We are trying to updating a phone number. Whenever we are trying to updating a phone number, our requirement is you have to update the contact records and you have to update the corresponding opportunity records also. But here we are guarantee the number of record counts are very less, like 10 or 20, maximum 30 or 50, maximum 50. If record counts are less, record counts are less, suppose 100 contact records are there, 100 opportunity records are there, then it's better to go with the batchable interface. But here what I will suggest is number of record counts are more, right? Then we have to move our code into future method. Why we have to move into our future method is, suppose you are trying to updating a phone number and you are writing your logic inside the trigger. We are writing our logic inside the trigger. We are writing our logic inside the trigger. We are writing, not a sequence process. Then what happened? You will go and update the context, right? You will go and update the context. Whenever you are updating the context, then what happened? This whatever the triggers are there, before update trigger, after update trigger, workflows, process builder, everything it will fire, right? Everything it will fire. What I am trying to say is, suppose you are trying to updating a phone number, then backend we are writing a trigger to update the contacts and to update the opportunity records. So suppose there are 10 contact records, there are 10 opportunity records. If phone number is updated, then update the contact record. Whenever we are using database dot update or direct update contacts, then what happened? Again backend these triggers it will fire. Backend these triggers it will fire. Contact triggers it will fire. Contact workflows it will fire. Process builder it will fire. Flow builder it will fire. And again here we are trying to updating opportunity. Then opportunity triggers also it will fire. Opportunity workflows, process builder, everything it will fire. So this transaction it will not get saved because of backend still it is running for the same transaction. I am trying to updating a phone number. For this phone number, backend a trigger is calling. In that trigger, contact is updating. So again, contact triggers are firing. Opportunities are updating. Opportunity triggers are firing. For the same transaction, all the triggers are firing. What happened here? The record it will not get saved, right? Record it say that saving, or it will take some time, right, to saving. So transaction, I mean, for the same transaction, we are trying to updating a contact and we are trying to updating a phone number. Whenever we are trying to updating contact triggers it will fire, workflows it will fire, process builder it will fire, coming into opportunity. For opportunity is also the same thing, right? everything it will fire, right? So for the same transaction backend, again it is running some other trigger, so it is taking more time to process our transaction. Then what we will do, whatever this code is there, right? This code first we will call a trigger. From the trigger we will move our code into a sequence process. In a sequence process, what it will happen, our record it will get saved, then backend this process is running, backend this process is running. This is the main reason why we are going to implement the future method. Means first we have to say for long running transaction. What do you mean by long running transaction? We have to give the scenario. Suppose I am trying to updating account record. For that account record, I have some custom object sales team and some other object opportunity object is there. I have to update sales team records and opportunity record. A record count is very less, like 5 or 10. So but whenever we are performing update operation, again update triggers in, it will fire in that custom object in opportunity. So it is taking more time for the same transaction. So that's why we will move our code into a sequence process. So we are clear, right? The business scenario is clear, right? In interview definitely they will ask, okay, the business scenario it is clear, right? So the same code, the code finally the same thing, whether it is a batchable or future method or anything, the code is same. List set map, everything that is same. So just we are moving our code into the sequence process. Means this is a method. This method should be a static method. On the top of method we are using future annotation. Future annotation. This is called future annotation. Okay. Then this code it will run into the sequence mode. So then the next one is here. Whenever we are passing the parameter here, we have to pass only IDs we have to pass, not primitive data types. Primitive data type means integer string, not that one, not a subject. Why we will not pass? Why we will not pass in the sense means whenever we are calling the future method, what it will happen here. So this is my account trigger. Okay, this is my account, sorry, this is my account record. So when I am updating phone number, backend I am writing a trigger. Backend I am writing a trigger here. Backend I am writing a trigger here. From the trigger, what we will do? I'm calling the future method, asynchronous process. So we are moving this code into asynchronous process. So this is a separate transaction. This is a separate transactions here. This is one transaction. Whenever user click on the phone number, it will call trigger code. It will run in this transaction. It will move this code into the future method. Means this is a separate transaction. This is a separate transaction. Our transaction it will end and it will give the response. But here the separate transaction it is running. Suppose we will pass primitive data types, integer or a subject we will pass. At the same time, suppose I will update this account data. I will update this account. This transaction is running. This is running. This is completed. This is completed. This is running still. Once it is completed, again I will go to here and I will update here. I will update something here. I will update something here in this record. Then what happened? We are not getting the latest data, right? What I'm trying to say is, here you have to observe. This is my account record. We are trying to updating a phone number here. Whenever we are trying to updating a phone number and click on the save button, our trigger it will call. Trigger means for the same transaction here it is running for the same transaction. Yes. So from the trigger, what we are doing? We are moving our code into asynchronous process. Asynchronous process, we are moving into our code into asynchronous process. That is nothing but future method. This is a separate transaction. This transaction it will end. So at the same time here you will come and you will update this account record, not phone number, some other field, some account name or some other thing. Suppose I will pass a subject. This old data only it will get. Suppose I will pass new IDs. Then what we have to do? IDs means we have to get that, we have to get the we have to use SOQL query to get the data. We have to use SOQL query to get the data. We have to use SOQL query to get the data. So we will get the latest data. So in interview also they will ask, is it possible to pass primitive data type or a subject to future method? No, it is not possible. Why it is not possible? In the sense means future methods are running in asynchronous process. So suppose any changes on the, suppose we will pass a subject, then if any changes on the record, then we will not get the latest data. So that's why we will always pass the IDs. Based on that ID, we are trying to querying and we will get the latest data. See here, we are passing ID, right? Whenever we are querying, then what it will happen? It will give the latest data. Suppose here I will pass the S object, then what happened? So for this transaction, the name is equal to test means it will give the test. It will give the test only. Suppose I will move into this transaction completed, then again I will go to here, I will update this name. Then what happened? Then again I will update the name. Then what happened? So that's why we will pass IDs here and we will get the latest data. The remaining code is the same thing. Coming into here, the syntax. Okay, 1 second. Future method in Salesforce. Okay, future method in Salesforce for long running transaction. And what is the syntax means? It is a here you have to observe. See, it is a static method. It is a public static. The return type should be void only. It will not return anything. It will not return anything. And the top of this one we are using future method. And here you have to observe we are passing only IDs here. Here we are passing only IDs. Here by using this ID we are trying to query. Means we are getting the latest data here. We are getting the latest data here. So suppose here you have to observe they are passing strings. They are passing strings here. I mean they are passing string. So this is not the right way because of it will not it will not get the latest data. It will not get the latest data. So here we will pass only IDs. Okay. And the next one is this is a future method. Any questions on this one? Any questions on this one? So this is one future method, right? Suppose I have some other future method. See here, I have some other future method. Public static void m1. This is my another future method. Okay, another future method. On the top of this one we are using future annotation, and here we are using list of id, list of id, list of ids. My requirement is once we completed this future method, then immediately I have to call this future method. Once we completed one future method, then I want to call another future method immediately. So that is not possible. So that's why we will go with the Queuable interface. That's why we will go with the Queuable interface. What is the problem with the future method? Suppose two future methods are there. My requirement is one future method completed immediately. I want to start another future method. No, that is not possible. When it will finish, because of this is asynchronous process. When it will finish, that we are not guaranteed. It will take 30 minutes, 5 minutes, 2 minutes, that we are not guaranteed. Then there is no control. That concept is called chaining. Chaining is one after that another, after that another. That chaining concept is not available in the future. That's why we have to go with the Queuable interface. That's why we have to go with the Queuable interface. Now go to a Queuable interface. What is the problem with the future? Suppose one future method completed, then immediately I want to call another future method. That feature method completed immediately I want to call another feature method. It's not possible. Why it is not possible? Future method it will run in asynchronous mode. When it will finish, that we are not guaranteed. How much time it will take, that we are not guaranteed. That's why to call to I mean once we completed one feature method, I want to call another feature method, I want to call another feature method, that case is not possible. Then only we have to go with the Queuable interface. Here Queuable, go to here, this is a Queuable. Queuable is an interface. We have a batchable interface, right? Like that we have a Queuable interface. See here the methods are not like start, execute and finish. Here we have only one method, that is nothing but execute method. Why we have to go with the Queuable interface? Queuable interface is nothing but chaining is possible. One method completed, then I will call another method. That chaining is possible. Okay, that chaining is possible. Okay, see here. So this is my Queuable interface. Implement a Queuable interface, right? So then the system it will call public void execute. This method it will call this. It will run in the asynchronous mode. After that you have to observe system.enqueue I am using another class. I am trying to creating another class. Change this job to next job by submitting the next jobs here. What does that mean? So implements Queuable. First we will call this particular method. First I will call this method. This method it will execute. Once this method it will execute, at the end I am using system.enqueue. Then what does that mean? System.enqueue. What does that mean? I am calling another Queuable interface method. New second job is nothing but this is another one. This is another one. That one also implement Queuable interface. That is also having execute method. So Queuable is a interface. It is having only one method, execute method. What is the purpose of Queuable interface? Why we have to go means, instead of future method, we will go with the Queuable interface. The problem with the future method is chaining is not possible. What do you mean by chaining is nothing but one feature we will complete, then I want to call another feature method. Then that case is not possible. Yes, here it is possible. So see here, this code it will run. When this code is completed, then what I will do? I will call system.enqueue. System.enqueue means I'm putting in the queue. I'm putting in the queue. So you have to call this job. This is nothing but implements Queuable interface only. So this is chaining jobs. Chaining jobs is nothing but we are trying to calling another. We are trying to calling another one immediately. Once this is completed, then we are trying to calling another one. Then we are trying to calling another one. Okay, that is nothing but Queuable interface. Any questions on this one? Any questions? Okay. Now the last one is asynchronous process. Okay, asynchronous process. In interview, we have to learn all these three things. In interview, definitely they will ask batchable interface, why we have to go future methods, and the Queuable interface. Definitely they will ask. Okay. Then the next one is schedulable apex. Schedulable apex. Schedulable apex. Okay. Schedulable apex. Go to here. Schedulable schedule apex. Here, apex scheduler. Okay. What is this apex scheduler? What is this apex scheduler? Suppose in the real time case, what it will happen is, suppose today we created 100, my clients are created opportunity records. My clients created opportunity records. Today my clients created opportunity records. My requirement is I want to update only for today opportunities. Today opportunity records are there. Whatever the opportunities created today, those opportunity records I want to update some field. I want to update some field. Okay, assume that I want to update owner like some particular queue. So every day some opportunities record it will create. If opportunity stage is equal to this one, then I want to update my opportunity owner to particular user or some other queue like that. That is my requirement. My requirement is every day users they will create an opportunity records. If that opportunity record stage is equal to closed one, then I want to update the opportunity owner to something. That is my requirement. So how we will execute this one? How we will execute? Just here observe the requirement. Every day some opportunities user they will create. Okay, if they will change the stage to the closed one, and then immediately I want to update the opportunity owner to something. Okay, that is my requirement. So in this case, what we will do, every day at night we will run one batch. So suppose batch is not there, in the sense means we will use the data loader. I have to fetch the SQL query. I have to use the SQL query, and I have to get the opportunity records where created date is equals to today and the stage is equal to closed one. Then we have to get those opportunity record, and we have to change the owner, and we have to update. That is data loader. By using data loader, that is manual process. Instead of running the manual process, what we will do, I will write one batch. Start method, execute method, finish method. Start method, I will write a query. So select id from opportunity where created date is equal to today and close last is equal, stage is equal to close last. Then I will fetch those opportunity, then I will update those opportunities. But my requirement is this batch when it will run, every day at night I want to run. Every day particular time I want to run. For every 1 hour I want to run. For every 1 hour I want to run, then we have to schedule that batch. Then we have to schedule that batch. See here, then we have to schedule this batch. See, implements schedulable interface is there. Implement schedulable interface is there. So in this schedulable, at what time we want to run, at what time we want to run, yes, we can run that particular period of time. I want to, after 1 hour, after 30 minutes, every day I want to run, yes, we can run that. So we have to write one class. That class is a schedulable, implement schedulable interface, and this is a execute method, this is a execute method. Now scroll down here. Now scroll down here, you have to observe implement schedulable, and this is execute method, and here this is my batch, database dot batchable batch, execute batch. I will share the exact code. Not this one, not this one. 1 second. See, 1 second, I will say. This is my batchable, right, schedulable, right? See, assume that this is my batch class. This is my batch class, public class demo batch implements batchable, right? Batchable, right? Okay, batchable, this is my batchable class. I want to schedule this batchable class every day, night 10, like that. So schedule, this is a class, implement this batchable implement schedulable interface. Then this is execute method. Then what we have to do, we'll just go and create instance for this one. Demo batch d is equals to new demo batch, then here you have to observe, see, when we have to schedule is nothing but, see, this time system dot schedule, this is a name, okay, this batch is scheduled, right? This demo batch is scheduled, this is a name. Then which batch we are trying to scheduling, this d batch, right? This d batch, here we have to write this d batch. When we have to run, that timing here we mentioned here, so this is my batch class. This batch class I have to schedule. Then what we have to do, we will just go and implements one schedulable interface here. One schedulable interface we will implement, okay. In that execute method is there, which batch you want to schedule, this batch we want to schedule, right? When you have to schedule, that time period you have to mention. Then system dot schedule, this is any name you have to give it. Then this timing, this batch it will run. What about this 2030 means, here you have to observe, scroll down here, scroll down. See, first one is coming into here. See, see, here they provided some example, what exactly this meaning is, now go to here. Here also you have to understand, okay. Seconds, minutes, hours, day of month, so month, okay, day of week, now special characters are there. See here, this is first parameter is this one, seconds, second parameter is minutes, the third one is hours, fourth one is day of month, okay. Like that for each and every one. When we want to schedule, here you will just go on the schedule by using these syntaxes. So once we schedule, then where we will find, so where we will find is nothing but go to here, schedulable jobs. Here, go to here, schedule jobs. Let's see, schedule, go to here, where is the schedulable jobs? Here you have to have the scheduled jobs are there. Click on the scheduled jobs. Here we will find, which batch we scheduled. Here we will find, see here, whatever the name here we provided a demo batch, with that name, here it will show, with that name here it will show one batch is scheduled, okay. With one batch is scheduled, and it will run this particular period of time. I'm trying to deleting this one, okay. This is nothing but schedulable batch. Schedulable batch is nothing. Schedulable is nothing but we have to schedule the batchable and the queuable interfaces. Okay, we have to schedule. How to schedule is nothing but we have to write a class. This class we have to schedulable by using schedulable interface, and here there is execute method. Which batch we want to schedule, that batch. When we want to schedule, this is the syntax. Finally, system.schedule. This is some any name. With this name you will find here system demo batch, and this is the timing, and this is the batch we are trying to scheduling. This is completely asynchronous process. Okay, definitely interview they will ask, and have any questions, let me know. And the next one is we have the pending topics are we have class
This
rasta.
conference will now be recorded.
For schedulable class, for
ఆ,
schedulable class, how it will run is first we will write a batch class, right? ఈ బ్యాచ్ క్లాస్ ను నేను నాకు ఈ రోజు రన్ కావాలా అని పెట్టేశాను. బట్ దీనికి ట్రిగరింగ్
ఓకే
పాయింట్ ఏంటంటే ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అనానమస్ విండోలోకి వెళ్ళిపోయి మీరు రన్ చేస్తారు దీన్ని.
ఓకే
రన్ చేస్తారు దీన్ని రన్ చేస్తే ఇది రెడీగా ఉంటుంది ఎవ్రీడే 9కు నేను రన్ కావాలా అని. ఆ 9కి
మ్మ్హ.
దేని రన్ చేస్తుంది, ఈ బ్యాచ్ రన్ చేస్తుంది. దీనికి
అదే
ట్రిగరింగ్ పాయింట్
ఒక్కసారి
మనం
ఇప్పుడు ఇది ఒక్కసారి మనం స్టార్ట్ చేసేస్తే ఎవ్రీడే ఇట్ రన్ అవుతుంది.
ఇట్ విల్ రన్ అవుతుంది. ఇక్కడ మీరు అబ్జర్వ్ చేశారనుకోండి, చూడండి నెక్స్ట్ షెడ్యూల్ రన్ అది ఆటోమేటిక్ గా షెడ్యూల్ చేసుకుంటుంది అనమాట. మీరు ఎగ్జిక్యూట్
మ్మ్హ.
అనానమస్ విండోలోకి వెళ్ళిపోయి మీరు షెడ్యూల్ చేశారు కదా, ఈ
మ్మ్.
షెడ్యూలబుల్ క్లాస్ ను మీరు రన్ చేస్తారు. రన్ చేసినప్పుడు ఏం జరుగుతుంది, ఈ షెడ్యూలబుల్ క్లాస్ లో ఏ బ్యాచ్ ఉంది, ఆ బ్యాచ్ ఈ టయానికి రన్ అయిపోతుంది. ఈ రోజు రన్
ఓకే
అయిపోయింది, నెక్స్ట్ అదే ఆటోమేటిక్ గా నెక్స్ట్ షెడ్యూలబుల్ రన్ అని ఆటోమేటిక్ గా షెడ్యూల్ చేసుకుంటుంది అదే టైంలో.
ఓకే. కానీ ఆ బ్యాచ్ క్లాస్ వచ్చి ఇది ఫోన్ అప్డేట్ చేయడానికి ఒక లాజిక్. ఐ మీన్ సమ్ లాజిక్.
ఐ మీన్ యా, ఫోన్ అప్డేట్ చేయడానికి సమ్ లాజిక్. ఓకే,
కానీ దానికి ట్రిగ్గర్‌తో సంబంధం లేదా?
ఇప్పుడు ఏంటంటే ఆ బ్యాచ్ కు కావాల్సిన ఇన్పుట్, నా రిక్వైర్మెంట్ ఏంటి, ఇక్కడ ఇక్కడ ఫోన్ అనేది నా రిక్వైర్మెంట్ కాదు. నా రిక్వైర్మెంట్ ఏంటి, ఎవరిడే మీరు ఆపర్చునిటీ రికార్డ్స్ క్రియేట్ చేశారు, ఆ ఆపర్చునిటీ
హ్మ్.
రికార్డ్స్ యొక్క ఓనర్ ను అప్డేట్ చేయమన్నారు అనమాట. దానికి నేను బ్యాచ్
ఓకే.
లోనే క్వరీ రాసుకుంటాను. సెలెక్ట్ ఐడి
ఓకే.
కామా నేమ్ ఫ్రమ్ ఆపర్చునిటీ వేర్ క్రియేటెడ్ డేట్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు టుడే. ఈ కేస్
హ్మ్.
డిఫరెంట్. ఇక్కడ ఫోన్ నెంబర్ కంటే మనకు ఇన్పుట్ కావాలి కదా, అందుకు ట్రిగ్గర్ నుంచి వస్తుంది. ఆ కేసులో బ్యాచ్ వేరే. నా ఎవరైనా ప్రతిరోజు ఏదైనా ఫోన్ నెంబర్ని అప్డేట్ చేస్తే దానికి
హ్మ్.
ట్రిగ్గర్ పాయింట్, ట్రిగ్గర్ నుంచి నా బ్యాచ్ కాల్ అయిపోతుంది. దట్ ఈస్ డిఫరెంట్ కేస్. ఇంకా దాన్ని
ఓకే.
షెడ్యూల్ చేయడం లేదు నేను అనమాట. అది ఎవరిడే రియల్ టైమ్ యాక్టివిటీ అంటారు. రియల్ టైమ్ యాక్టివిటీ
హుహుహు.
మీరు ఏం చేస్తున్నారు, ఫైర్ అయిపోతారు. నాట్ రియల్ టైం,
హ్మ్.
ఇది రియల్ టైం కాదనమాట. ఆఫ్టర్ సమ్ టైమ్ ఇట్ విల్ రన్. అప్పుడు రన్
హ్మ్.
చేసినప్పుడు దానికి ఇన్పుట్ ఎక్కడి నుంచి వస్తుంది, మరి నా కొరీలోనే రాసుకుంటాను నేను. సెలెక్ట్ ఐడి
హుహుహు.
ఫ్రమ్ ఆపర్చునిటీ వేర్ క్రియేటెడ్ డేట్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్స్ టు టుడే. మీన్స్ ఈ రోజు
హుహు.
ఏదైతే ఆపర్చునిటీస్ ఉన్నాయో అవి మొత్తం తెచ్చుకుంటుంది, వాటిపైన వర్క్ చేస్తుంది. సో
అంటే
ఇక్కడ
ఇది
ట్రిగ్గర్.
ట్రాన్సాక్షన్స్ అంతా మనము ఈ ఫ్యూచర్, బ్యాచబుల్, క్యూవబుల్‌లో హ్యాండిల్ చేస్తాము. ఏదన్నా వేరే స్పెసిఫిక్‌గా క్వెరీ చేసుకొని చేయాలి, షెడ్యూల్ చేసి చేయాలి అంటే ఆహ్, షెడ్యూల్ అపెక్స్‌కి వెళ్తున్నాం.
పర్ఫెక్ట్, అంతే. రియల్ టైమ్ ట్రాన్సాక్షన్ లో అంటే వీటికి వెళ్ళిపోతాం. నాకు నేను యూజర్ వచ్చి ఈ రికార్డుని అప్డేట్ చేసేటప్పుడు, ఈ రికార్డుని డిలీట్ చేసేటప్పుడు, ఈ రికార్డుని ఇన్సర్ట్ చేసేటప్పుడు నాకు ఈ కోడ్ అసీక్వెన్స్ ప్రాసెస్ లైక్ మూవ్ వెళ్ళిపోండి అంటే ఇది రియల్ టైం. టూ కేసెస్ ఉంటాయి, రియల్ టైమా లేకపోతే నాట్ రియల్ టైమా. ఇది రియల్ టైం కాదు.
ఓకే.
రియల్ టైం అంటే ఏంటి, రికార్డు క్రియేట్ చేసేటప్పుడు, అప్డేట్ చేసేటప్పుడు, డిలీట్ చేసేటప్పుడు ఇమ్మీడియట్ గా మనకి యాక్షన్ జరిగేదాన్ని జనరల్ గా రియల్ టైం అనే టర్మినాలజీ వాడతారు. నాకు
ఓకే.
రియల్ టైమ్ లో కాదు, వేరే అప్పుడు రన్ చేయాలంటే బ్యాచ్ నేను షెడ్యూల్ చేసుకుంటాను. ఎవ్రీడే నాకు
ఓకే.
10కు రన్ గా, ఈ టైంలో రన్ గా అన్నప్పుడు అట్లా రన్ చేసినప్పుడు దానికి ఇన్పుట్ కావాలి కదా, ఇన్పుట్ ఆ కొరీలోనే మనం ప్రిపేర్ చేసుకుంటాం.
ఓకే. 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 షూర్ రమేష్. రమేష్ ఇంకోటి ఇది ప్యాకేజ్